I was there when I needed someone who wasn't getting over you. When I move to the side, when I move
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Eat the Cake, Drink the Wine, and Fuck Them People podcast. I am Coach Tots, your podcast host. And today is an impromptu podcast. Usually I'm using the 2024 Strategic Podcast Planner to plan out my podcast and what the content will be. And generally at 2:22 every Saturday, we go live to read To Be a Slave. But today I decided to do something a little different. I had to go out and run some errands, and as I was running my errands, this jumped out at me. It says dive deeper. Got it at Home Goods, and when I thought about it, I was like, oh, that's kind of deep. And I wasn't going to buy it because I was like, I don't really need to buy it because I can, resonate with what it says. But then I realized in life, I'm going to have a lot of moments that I need to go deeper. So I'm going to need to look at that to go deeper. So I have my beads on, and I did not go to Mardi Gras, but sometimes in life, things just happen, and we're not planning on these things to happen. They just happen. We don't know that it's going to be a part of our life journey, but it just happens. And lately, I've been going through some personal, how would I say this? Personal struggles. And it's really not a struggle. Well, for me, it is. Yeah, it is. Because I'm not a very, in my opinion, outgoing person, but when I'm in an environment and I feel safe in the environment, then my natural nature is make it fun, make it funny, make people laugh, be a blast. And that's how these beads came about, which is why I put them on. So this past weekend, I was reaching out to my cousins to see what they were going to be doing because I was like, hey, I'm doing a live. If you guys want to come over later, I'll make mimosas. And I invited a couple of my girlfriends to come over, or friend girls, or however you want to say it. And my cousins replied and said, oh, we're going to the beach today. And I said, oh, I want to go to the beach too, because if you see my new picture here, I've replaced Scarface because I've elevated. I'm in a different place in life because, again, in life, things just happen. It's not what we planned, but it just happens, right? So this particular picture, because I love the beach, I love the ocean, and it reminds me of my summer of 2023 that I had with my son, where we did a road trip. And we always do these road trips, and he absolutely loves and looks forward to doing road trips with me. So I generally save money, and that money is for road trips, to get a rental car or drive my car, pay for hotel rooms. Like, we stop in different cities, and it's now called Tots Summer Foodie Tour. So the Summer Foodie Tour of 2023, we had a pit stop in Gulf Shores, Alabama. And the beach we went to, when you went through this private gate to get out to the beach and you walked out, it looked just like this. So when I found this at Home Goods today, and I was just in Home Goods just looking, I wasn't expecting to find anything. I was trying to get inspiration for the new podcast studio, and I saw this really nice chair I want, right? And I saw this picture, and that was the first thing I thought of. And my first thoughts, because again, things just happens, was to say, hey, doesn't this look like the beach at so-and-so? But my mind jumped in and said, ask him, what does it remind him of? So I sent him, excuse me, and this is me, 444 just came across on the time. This is me realizing I needed to dive deeper. And this moment with this picture happened after I saw this, right? And I sent him the picture and I asked him, and he replied, he said, "Isn't that the beach we went to this summer?" And I was like, "Yes, in Alabama." And he did a little heart on the message. And I was like, "Gulf Shores, Alabama." I said, "I wasn't going to get it, but seeing that you saw the same thing that I saw, I'm going to buy it as my memory for the summer of 2023, Tots foodie tour." And it's just me and my youngest son. And for him, we had a rental car. When we made it to Houston, we got a rental car. And the rental car was a Challenger. And that was like my favorite car growing up as a little girl. I still feel like me and my Uncle Bobby was on a speed chase, and me and my cousin Lonnie was in the back seat while bullets were shooting into the car. But by God's grace, we made it, because I don't understand why I kept having that dream that we were ducked down in this car and we're zooming through the woods and the dark streets and bullets are flying. But I always remember that car. So I think that's the car that my Uncle Bobby had. And that's why I love the car so much. But anyway, just me focusing on diving deeper. My son saw what I saw. So I know because he saw what I saw, he can see what I see, so he can have what I have. That's biblical. If y'all don't know it, y'all need to go figure it out. So it was like dive deeper. And then before I had went into Home Goods, I did this video where I was having a transparent moment. And I was trying to introduce and connect people to me, because I'm starting to realize I intimidate people. And I don't know why. I never knew why. Like, what the fuck? I'm just being me. But after some occurrences in different groups, and they're very different occurrences. Like when you look at the law of polarity, complete opposites. But I noticed the root cause of both of these occurrences was me. Me? What? I'm the problem? Am I all the drama? Yeah, it's me. So the video was pretty much trying to explain to people who I am and not to be intimidated by me, because this is just what I do. And as I was driving home and, I'm sitting in the car and I'm eating my food and stuff from the place I went to that I probably shouldn't have went to, but anywho, I started thinking, and I was like, you know what, fuck them people. Because after all, it is eat the cake, drink the wine, and fuck them people podcast. Because I'm in the fuck them people stage of my life where if you like me, cool. And if you don't, it's still fucking cool, because whether you like me or not, it makes no difference in my life. But as I dive deeper, I probably did that wrong, dive deeper, I realized I intimidate people because, one, I pull up on the scene and don't nobody know who the fuck I am. Like, who the fuck is she? Where she came from? Two, I'm helpful. So when someone has a question or I see something that I can give a little value in that area, free of charge, I contribute, right? And that intimidates people, because it's like, who the fuck is she? Where did she come from? And how the fuck she know all this shit? And then three, they're probably saying, what the fuck she want? What she want? Who sent her? I just want people to know God sent me. I'm your spiritual guide to help you along your journey. That's why I'm here. That's why at the age of 50, which I say I'm over a half century old, because I am, I turned 50 on August 23rd, 2023. And I said I would never say I'm 50, because that would be me aging myself. So I will, for the rest of my life, be over half a century old, because 50 is half a century. And seeing that I turned 50 on August 23rd at 3:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because 3:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the time that I was birthed into this world on August 23rd, 1973. 70s, baby. And I have to realize it ain't my fucking fault. It ain't my fault. Did I do that? It ain't my fault. It's not my fault that I grew up in poverty. It's not my fault that my escape from home was going to the library and reading books with my siblings. That was our getaway. We were allowed to leave and go to the library. We didn't necessarily go and run and hang out in the streets. Like I have those moments where I was able to play red light, green light, stop and all that, and hunching on the little boys with clothes on and stuff. I did all of that good stuff. I did all that stuff. Sure did. But not so much, because most of the time I was in the house cleaning, because that's what my mom made us do. But this picture helped me realize, you know what? Dive deeper. Because before it was Tony Montana from Scarface. And that was a moment in time in my life that I wasn't necessarily stuck in it, but I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I can be that. But I didn't want to be that anymore, but I kept the picture up here because I enjoyed that moment of my life. A moment in my life where I had no worries at all whatsoever. It was plenty of money. Life was good, as Future would say. But now I realize I'm at the point in my life that I need to dive deeper. So in the deeper dive, I realized that, yeah, people are going to be intimidated by me. I don't give a fuck. I realize that I'm going to be intimidated by people. I still don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, we all came in this life with a purpose, a plan, and a passion. But all of us don't find it. All of us don't make it to my age and say, damn, life don't owe me nothing. I had a good time in this motherfucker. What we gonna do next? Everybody's not blessed to make it to this age because they went back to the spirit world before they got here. Or they get to this age, but they did not prepare for this age. Dive deeper. So when you prepare for an age, it takes about 10 years to truly prepare for anything. My dad told me when I was married, he said, you can be with somebody for 10 years and still not know them. So that's when I threw time when it comes to relationships out the window. It doesn't matter if I've known you for 3 months or 3 days or 3 years, because I still don't know you. And that changed my perspective in so many things. So now I give everybody a free slate and I let everybody start where they start at. And then every mark that goes against you, it's because of something you did, not something someone else did or not something someone else said. But these last, we're on day 15 of 30 Days to Impact. Actually, I think we're on day 16. So for these past 16 days, I have been through the fire. And as the saying goes, new levels bring new devils. But the one thing that I can recognize and see is when I've elevated. Over the past 16 days, I've went through not having a car. Over the past 16 days, I've went through dealing with bad news that's family related, not once, but twice. Over the past 16 days, I have beat myself up because I attempted to help what I thought was help, not realizing my help to other people looked intimidating because they felt I was trying to take something from them, not realizing I'm just here to help you. But over the last 16 days, I also realized you've been building shit for a long time and you stopped building what you're building because you have imposter syndrome. So you go and help other people build because that's what you do. You rather build for other people what you clearly could build for yourself if you put in the time, effort, and energy that you put in all these other places. And all the other places, they don't get all of me. They just get that little sprinkle of whatever I feel like I can do in that moment to help. Because I'm not trying to do everything. I'm just trying to help. I'm diving deeper here. So in that, within these last 16 days that I went through, I realized, damn, I do have fucking imposter syndrome. But I also realized you smart as fuck, and that intimidates a lot of fucking people. When I look back at past jobs, there was always a panina in the building. And the panina that I would bump heads with was always a panina that I thought we was cool. It wasn't no issue. I'm trying to help them because they asking me for help. I'm not just volunteering help. This is people asking me for help. So as I learn new stuff, I share the knowledge. But then I realize it ain't my fault people are intimidated. And it's not their fault if I'm intimidated. But what's the purpose and the plan behind the intimidation? This is me, just diving deeper. So what's the purpose? Like what exactly is intimidation? So I'm going to go over here to my little friend chat. And I'm going to ask chat, what is intimidation? Because for whatever reason, I'm intimidating people. But I realize the only people that intimidate me, we're going somewhere, are the people that I feel are at a level of life that I may never ascertain. And I don't mean rich people, because I've been there. So it's not them. It's people that have things that I feel like, God, will I ever? You know what I'm saying? Like, will I ever? And intimidation, according to chat, refers to the act of making someone feel fearful, threatened, or powerless. It involves using various tactics such as threats, aggression, or physical presence to create a sense of fear or anxiety in others. Intimidation can be done with the intention of controlling or manipulating someone, often to gain power or influence over them. It can occur in various contexts, such as in personal relationships, workplaces, or social settings. It is important to address and prevent intimidation, as it can have negative effects on the well-being and confidence of individuals. So, just diving a little deeper into that. Why was I intimidated? Because unfortunately, stay with me now. When you get a lot of knowledge, there comes a point, and I don't know if this applies to everybody, but it applied to me. It comes a point where you feel like your brain is in overload. And it's like, I need to get rid of this information that I'm not using anymore. So that's where I just start giving it to whoever's asking for it. So this is me. This is just what I do because I don't want my brain to go into overload. Because there used to be a point in my life that I didn't really tell nobody anything unless they asked. If they didn't ask, I wasn't sharing it. And when I went through that first episode and did the brain dump, I didn't share any of that knowledge with anybody. So that's when I was in the hero world. So like if you were close to me or one of my clients, I shared what I felt you could use. But have I ever went and talked in my own name? Now I've taught under a business, working for a business and traveling to the hair shows and the schools and all of that good stuff, right? Platform artists. Like I've done everything you could think of to do in the hair world. I've done it. Okay. That was going on in my time frame. So I did that brain dump, but I didn't share that with anybody. And my niece, over these past 16 days, She trying to pull me back into doing hair, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. But she like, but it's your color, auntie. Like, it love you. You just won't love it back. So the second brain dump I recall doing is when I was ready to stop doing business. I'm like, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. I want to go into the social media world and I want to be the celebrity content creator. Like, I don't want to do this stuff anymore. So I started helping people get their business started. And that was birthed through a whole situation when I was living in Atlanta. And then I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I feel like I'm where I need to be. But as I'm starting and diving into this social media thing and this podcast thing, that's when imposter syndrome started setting in because it's something that's so new. It's so new to me. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, dog. But then when everybody else look at me, they're like, damn, she's doing good as fuck. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm suffering over here. Like, what the fuck is going on? But everybody else, I'm like, damn, she just pick up on shit like that. But the imposter syndrome in me is saying, I just need one more class. I just need one more person to show me something because I just feel like I don't have the ability. I even went back to school and took a class and got some certifications dealing with digital marketing because I'm like, well, I don't want to just pay somebody to do it for me. I want to know what they're doing because that's the type of person I am. So I knew why I was intimidated because I'm like, damn, God, I want to do this, but all these other people that's doing this, they doing it with a husband. They ain't got no husband. Am I going to be able to do this like this? I ain't got no husband. Intimidation. People saying they started when they was in their 20s or their 30s. I'm over half fucking century old starting. God, like, what the hell is going on here? Intimidation. That was my intimidation. But why are people intimidated by me? Like, what the fuck did I do? I'm just trying to help. And I have to realize through this picture that allowed me to dive deeper, I realized sometimes you share information and it's some people that want the information and they appreciate the information, but they didn't ask for the information. And the ones that know the information feel you have an ulterior motive for sharing the information. Because some of them that have the information and they're not sharing the information, they trying to give people the information, but they want to charge them for it. And you keep giving the shit away for free. So you fucking up their bag. So they intimidated by you because they feel like you trying to come and take their money and you just trying to help people freely. I'm so fucking sorry. I'm sorry. Because I have to realize I'm blessed beyond measure, as I say, in this moment. Because everybody's not able to work somewhere they absolutely love. Everybody's not able to say, you know what, I got this business going on, but I don't really want to do that no more. So I'm going to just shut all this down. Even though I'm making a decent amount of side money over here, I'm going to shut all this down because I want to focus on this over here that ain't bringing me in no money yet. But I'm having so much fun doing this. This is where I want to put my time, effort, and energy. And I already got a job that's paying me good to help me live the lifestyle I want to live. I'm okay with it. But people don't realize that, oh, she really is just trying to help. So it's making me feel like I don't want to be in groups no more. I don't want to be in these groups no more because I don't like y'all intimidated helpers fucking with me because I can feel energy. And that's the fucked up part of my life. I can feel your energy and your intents, even when you don't know that I can feel it. You might try to say it nice and sweet, but guess what? I pick up the intent and the energy behind it. Maybe it's because I'm crazy. Ooh. Or maybe it's because God blessed me with the spirit of discernment. So, diving deeper, looking at this picture and knowing that I switched and changed a paradigm within myself within the last 24 hours, even though I've been going through hell for the past 16 days. I've been fighting depression, not for the whole 16 days, but for some of them. Nobody knew because when I go outside, I'm smiling. When you call me, I'm saying, hey, how you doing? because I've learned to smile through my pain, which is something I didn't do before. I thought I was smiling sometimes, but the pain was so deep that the smile that I had on the inside, it didn't show outside. And see, now I can smile from the inside out. And I realized that's why I do what I do. Because everybody gonna be intimidated by somebody on some level. But I can't stop what I'm doing because somebody's intimidated. My goal and my purpose is to help. It's just like so much that has unraveled within the past 16 days. And when I say unravel, I'm not meaning unravel fell apart. I'm meaning unravel to be revealed. And I'm gonna just read. This was one of the realizations I had got from the intimidation that I had with my imposter syndrome when I realized, and it's so crazy because in my Facebook group I had went in probably about a week or two ago, and I said it, imposter syndrome versus ego or something like that. And when I did it, I didn't know that I was going to go through what I actually went through. And that helped me understand sometimes when I'm speaking for me. And I don't need the message right then, but when I need it, it's going to come. So like a lot of the posts I did a year ago, that was myself sending a message to me. So every message that has come through that I posted actually 2 years ago, I'm just like, wow. And now the people that I'm listening to on podcasts in my last season, I was like, I don't know. It's just something about them. I can't really watch them. But now I'm just like, all day long. That's what I'm watching. That's what I'm taking in. So that lets me know that I've elevated, but also my paradigm has shifted. My mindset has shifted. And it shifted to a higher level. So before I could really even get into the level, I didn't realize it. I was being introduced to the new devils. Intimidation, family issues, and just really loving somebody as hard as you can because you can't be close enough to them. So you have to love them the way you feel they want to be loved in this season in their life, even though you want to love them differently. So I'm going to read. This is what I sent to hey, RJ and Miss Q, my podcast sisters that we met at the podcast summit in Miami in 2023. The summer of 2023, when I tell you it was fire, baby, we had a ball. Okay, me and my son traveled just everywhere. We had plane rides and we had car rides. We had a good time. Yes, we did. So I said, I had a Fiat. Hold on, let me see. What did I say? Oh, because I'm planning an event and I want this to be a business networking event. And I plan to have production in the house to record. And it's going to be a little intimate, probably like 8 to 10 people, where I really help people map out what they're trying to do. Because me being a business coach, I help you build the foundational shit that you need in your business. I don't help you scale, but I help you understand and get the vision down on paper, get the mission statement down on paper, get the North Star statement down on paper, understand who your target audience is, understanding the psychographics and the demographics, all of those things that you need to understand before you even get into scale. That's my niche. That's what I do. But also what I do is help connect people to the mindset that our ancestors were forced into having during slavery, and how a lot of us still operate from that mindset And that's how we are still enslaved, even though we're in 2024. So that's the intent behind me reading To Be a Slave, because I want to help people to change their mindsets, to get rid of a limited mindset, transition that over into a growth mindset, which means get rid of negative thoughts, replace them with positive thoughts, feel like the sky's the limit, you can do whatever, and living a life of abundance. So that's Eat the Cake, Drink the Wine, Fuck Them People podcast. That's what that is. When life is going good, what we doing? We eating the cake, we smiling, we laughing. When life is a little fucked up, we don't know what's going on, we drinking wine, we stress. Some of us taking shots and shit. And then when you say, hey, enough is a fucking enough. You do what's right for you, and you just be like, fuck them people. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your auntie, your co-worker, friend, family, for whoever don't like what you're doing, but you know what you're doing is right for you. Fuck them people, because you got to do it for you. And you can't take the time to be intimidated by what other people are going to think or say. So that's what fuck them people came from. So Eat the Cake, Drink the Wine, Fuck Them People podcast, that's the purpose behind it. So I was talking to my podcast sisters because it's like, okay, this is what I want to do. And I want to go live in, well, I don't want to say live, but stay in Florida for a month just to check on my family, because my kids and my grandkids, my mom, my sisters, brother, nieces, nephews, they're all there. So I want to be able to check on them, be sure everybody's good. But then when I come back, I want to have this event. And I want to have, and it's like I have it visualized where I want to have it. It's catered. There's a chef that's there cooking. We have a bartender. We have production in the house. We have photography. And this will all be like the rollout of season 3 of Eat the Cake, Drink the Wine, Fuck Them People podcast, right? Because season 3 is coming. But based on the hell I have been through for the past 16 days and realizing I'm suffering from imposter syndrome and I'm beating myself up so bad for trying to help and not understanding why people giving me the energy that they're giving me when I'm just trying to fucking help, I fell into depression. But every day I still got up and I logged in for work. I remember it was one day I didn't even take a bath. Like, depression can get bad like that. So, by the time it was time for me to go to sleep at night, I took a shower then. But generally, when I wake up first thing in the morning, I take a shower. Before I go to sleep at night, I take a shower. In the middle of the day, I take a fucking shower because that's how I deal with my anxiety. So this is the message that I wrote. I said, I had a fiasco in a group suffering from my imposter syndrome. And the way the energy was in that group, I knew God was up to something. So now I'm like, if you don't stand the fuck up and walk in your purpose and stop shrinking because it feels too new to you, I'm about to fight you. I'm talking to me. I talk to myself rough like that. Because I have to tell myself, bitch, if you don't get your shit together, I'm going to knock your ass the fuck out. And that's my enemy talking to the smaller me saying, you got this. So I went on to say, like, I've been talking to myself real rough lately after letting depression win for about a week. Like, I was okay helping in other people's group and posting in other people's group, but not confident enough to do it in my own. I got my own group. I have my own group on Facebook. Across all of my social media platforms, I have damn near 10,000 followers. Over all these fucking years I've been on social media, I've done nothing but build following after following after following on platform after platform. And in some platforms, I ain't even counting because I don't even be logging in to do shit. But I'm realizing this, and I said the whole situation just shook me a little. Because, again, I was trying to help. I wasn't doing anything I was doing with any ill intent. I was trying to help. But God is always intentional, and there is always a panina in the lurks intimidated by something you don't even see in yourself. Come on, Holy Ghost. This is exactly what I was typing, right? I'm reading y'all this. Insert praise. I said hashtag insert praise dance in my spirit. To add to that means I perfected what I had just learned in the first phase of 30 Days to Impact. I'm currently in phase 2, promoting the planner through ads. So phase 1 of 30 Days to Impact, just to give you guys some background, this is me just diving deeper. I had took the digital marketing course last year. I graduated in December. Well, let's say completed because it was a certification course. I completed it in December and I had my 3 certifications. I have my 3 certifications: Google Ads, Hub, HubSpot Marketing, and Google Analytics. So I have my certifications in that. But one of the things that we learned when I had, because you have to do an ad to actually finish the course and everything, I had to do an ad for GoDaddy. So I had to use AI and create my image. And I was like, oh, so, I had to type in the AI. So when the image came, it was a little cartoony looking or whatever. And I thought that's all you could do with it. So when I finished, I said, I really want to learn more about this AI because I had already been into AI before I even got into the digital marketing thing. The whole purpose of me taking that course was, one, I needed to understand stuff, but I was struggling with analytics because I'm an analyst at my job and I need to analyze stuff. And I'm like, that's not my strong suit. But it made sense to start learning that analyzation piece by learning it through something I'm already connected to, which was social media. So it just made sense because everything else that was coming up for me to learn in AI and learn analysis, it was like I had to go back to school and get another degree. And she is degreed already. She has 2. I don't need no more. Okay, I'm good. And I don't even use the one that I went to school for. No, is it 3? I got 2. Whatever. Just diving deeper. So I started in this just on my own, trying to learn. And then I found these different groups on Facebook. So the first 2 groups I went in, and this is toward the end of December, it really wasn't teaching anything. It was just people posting their work. And I'm like, well, this ain't teaching me a whole lot. So I ended up going in this other group. And this third group I went into was called AI for Us by Us. It's an awesome group. If you guys want to join that group, I promise you're going to learn a lot. They had a free course on a Saturday. So I took the course and it just opened everything for me. I was like, oh, so it's kind of like writing a book and you have to be very detailed, like when you want a person to visualize your character, because I took creative writing when I was in college. And I love that course. And I actually ended up writing a book, and they did similar to how we in that group. We when I was in school, the teacher would start a sentence, the next person would read the sentence, and then you have to write. You do the story, and then when you can't write anymore, writer's block or whatever, you pass it back. So it's a couple of us that did the story in that particular group, and then I never was really in the group posting. I was more so in the chat. So in the chat, if you posted anything, you had to share your prompts and all of that. So that's how I was learning a lot about the prompts and prompting before they had the course. When they had that course, that's when everything just cleared up. And they actually have a prompt book for sale that I said I was going to purchase, but I hadn't purchased it. And I've actually left the group now because of this whole imposter syndrome and feeling the energy. And the energy in that group was absolutely marvelous. There's no issue in that group at all. But I remember at one point, it was me and somebody else, and they said, you guys are doing really good. You can go ahead and start posting in the group. So they wanted us to leave from the chat and start posting in the group. And I was doing that, but I was like, yeah, I can't really be in here posting like that because I was trying to learn. And, I got my own group that I don't even do nothing with because I don't know what I want to do with them. So I wasn't real comfortable posting in the group, so to speak, especially when people have questions and stuff. And, I was trying to help people. And I was like, yes, I ended up joining another group that it was like AI bosses or something like that. So I'm like, okay, I feel like I know AI enough. This is some boss stuff. So let me go ahead and go in this group. And, maybe I start feeling more confident and get on my boss level that I need to be on, because right now I'm not feeling like I know everything. And that's the group. It just seemed like from the time I joined the group, and it would just seem like all the posts was real negative. And I was like, what the hell? Because when you start, I was like, well, let me tell you this. You're not going to come in this group and not work. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to post at least once a week and be sure that your work is watermarked and da-da-da. So I was like, okay, but I'm doing all this other stuff, right? So I'm not really posting like that. But I knew we had to post once a week, and it said to be watermarked. So I would post and I would watermark. But my watermark was my business. And because I have all of these different platforms, my watermark, generally, if I'm doing it on my computer, it covers the whole thing. If I'm doing it on my phone, it's just my name. So long short, I kept feeling this negative energy in these posts. And it ended up being some question asked, and I answered it very transparently and honestly. And apparently, whoever the lady was, she felt like I was trying to take people from their group to bring to my group and get in my class. And I'm like, girl, what? I'm over here stressed and pressed. Like, Tasha, how you telling people you're doing a class and you're not ready? Like, I'm just trying to fucking learn. So long short, from that whole incident, I decided I don't need to be in nobody's group no more. So I started removing myself from groups, and it just hit me. I have imposter syndrome. It's like, you know enough about this. Even when I was listening to Social Proof podcast, and I remember Donnie was like, a lot of people feel like they have to have it all together, like they have to know everything. I'm one of those people. I'm like, I got to know everything. And if I don't know everything, I'm just tell you what I know for free. But she said, you can be 2 steps ahead of a person and still help them. And that's what I was doing. I'm like, I'm just helping, we figuring this shit out together. Like the whole premise of my group when it was created, I was like, look, we're going to figure this out. We're going to figure it out together. And that's when we was figuring out business credit. I said, I don't know a whole lot about business credit, but as I learn, I'm going to come over here and share with y'all. We're going to learn together. And then one of my degrees is in public policy and administration, where I understand how the government works. So when I knew how to go in and get your government profile set up, I said, okay, we're going to make this building business credit and securing government contracts. So I was sharing with them, this is what you need to do to get your business credit together. This is what you need to do to get your government profile. And this is how you go and research to verify what kind of contracts you want to submit your bid for. And the name just changed. So now it's just keep manifesting. Because whatever you're doing, just keep manifesting. Like that was God's word to me for 2020. And it has not changed. Every year when I ask, I'm like, God, what's the word for this year? And it's like, keep manifesting. And that ended up being my business name. It's Keep Manifesting LLC. So me realizing I have imposter syndrome, I'm like, damn. But then feeling that energy thing, right? So now I'm in this other group. It has nothing to do with nothing I'm doing. This is just a group on a personal level. And I'm like, why do I feel that weird energy? And it's not in the group that I feel it. It's in the chat. Because in the chats, that's when you're helping people. People are asking questions and you're answering the questions. And it might seem like, damn, why she answering every question like she know everything? No, I don't know everything, but I do know a lot. Because I've done a lot. I've done a fucking lot. Like, let me, just for people to understand me, we're going to wrap it up with this with almost 43 minutes here. And the sweet spot for a podcast is 30 minutes, okay? But on YouTube, you want to shoot for the hour because you want the long watch time. So if you made it this far, go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe. And thank you. Love ya. So digging deeper into who I am. I was a high school dropout. I'm gonna give this to y'all. We started at 10 years. I was a high school dropout. I gave birth to a stillborn child at the age of 15. I had my second child at the age of 17. I went back to high school. I graduated high school, went to college, stayed in college for 20 fucking years. Graduated with a couple degrees and a couple certificates, worked for not the federal government, worked for the county government in Florida. I have about 15 years of customer service experience working at call centers. I've worked for Ceridian flexible spending accounts. I've worked for Ceridian in the tax department. I worked for Paychecks doing A to Z payroll. I was the strategic payroll tax person for a company in Boca Raton. I now work for the second largest privately owned corporation in the United States. I'm an analyst, still working in payroll. I had a tax business that I closed last year, bookkeeping business that I closed last year, business coach that I was going to close last year, but I'm like, you know what? I still want to help people in this area. And I'm going to continue to help people in this area because intimidation has made me not want to do it because I had someone tell me, don't nobody care. Don't nobody know. No, he didn't say don't nobody know. He says, don't nobody care. And I think his name is Marquell Russell or whatever his name is. But I mean, his first dude was like, yeah. And you know what the whole issue was? I didn't have like a big ticket, which I did have a big ticket. Like if you got to the point where you was ready to scale and you needed somebody to like do your SOPs and help you with your strategic planning and stuff like that. Yeah, those were high ticket items. Those were $5,000, $10,000. But yeah, for me to just help you, it wasn't, because I know what it's like to be a small business owner. I was a cosmetologist, platform artist, educator, motivator, style creator, dual licensed cosmetologist, salon owner, booth renter, suite renter. I've done all of that stuff. I've been a wife. I'm a mama. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I'm abuela, which is Spanish for grandma. I have 2 grandkids. I just do a lot. I work for the property appraiser in Pinellas County, Florida. I went to school for real estate in the state of Florida. So when it comes to real estate, do I know a little something about real estate and buying it and how to look at the contracts and how to research? You damn skip, because one, I went to school for fucking real estate, but I was 1 hour short from taking the exam. And then I had a friend that I really, really liked, and he said, why are you doing that? You don't need to do that. That's white people stuff. Black people not real estate agents. So I didn't do it. I didn't go back to get that extra hour that I needed just to go and sit for the exam. I didn't do it. The Pinellas County property appraiser was in the process of training me to be an actual appraiser. I was just the person that when you come in, I helped you do your research on whatever property you was doing research on. I will walk you over to the map department if you need to talk about plat maps. I knew how to send you down to the clerk of the court if you need to research the deeds. I knew how to send you up to the tax department if you need to find out about the taxes. But I knew how to research and tell you who was the owner, when was it purchased, how much it was worth, how to look at this. I knew all of that stuff. So when I'm in a group and y'all talking about buying land and shit, and I got all these answers, it's because I know some shit. I know I'm only 50, over a half century old, but I know some shit. So when I'm trying to help people, I'm really just trying to help fucking people. Don't be intimidated by me. Please don't. This is what I like. I like the beach. I love the ocean. I love the water. And I just bought some land, and there's a lake, and my property is 2 blocks away from the lake. Look at God. Look at God. Now, these 20 acres I bought, I don't really know about them 20 acres because they're way over in West Texas, and there might be some bullshit going on with them 20 acres. But I'm talking to the title company tomorrow because I know when you buy shit, you go and get your title insurance. So at the end of the day, just don't be intimidated by me, and know that the purpose of me doing anything that I do is to help people dive deeper into your mind. Because you can manifest anything. If you can believe it, you can say it, you can receive it, you're going to manifest it. You can feel it, you're going to manifest it. It's believe it, see it. Hold on. I got Reverend Nike up here somewhere. My board over there. You got to see it. No, you got to believe it first. You got to believe it first. Then you have to see it. Okay? You got to visualize it. Then you need to say it. Now, people be saying, don't be telling everybody your hopes and your dreams. Well, you don't tell them when you still trying to believe it for yourself, because when they tell you it's not going to happen, they're going to discourage you. So you don't tell nobody in the believe stage. You don't tell people in the seeing stage, because that's when you're trying to visualize it for yourself. And I'm like, oh, I can't see that. Well, bitch, I can't either. I'm still trying. So don't tell them. But once you can believe it, and once you can see it, meaning you can visualize it, that's when you need to start saying it. You need to start speaking that thing. So when somebody else comes and tell you no, you're like, no, I'm going to need you to back on up, because I already I believe it and I see it. Like, you just, Don't believe me, just watch. Yeah, you can do that to them. But then after that, you feel it. And once you feel it, the feeling of it is going to help you manifest it. But you can't feel something that you can't see, and you can't feel something that you don't believe. That's how a lot of people end up in relationships with people that don't really like them. Like they believe it, they visualize it, and they see it, but they don't necessarily feel it because that person is not giving them the feeling that they want to feel. But they still waiting for that feeling, so they end up in a relationship with the wrong person. But if you can believe and you can see it and you saying it and you feeling it, that's a relationship. Because a lot of y'all won't even say it. Y'all like, we just friends. Oh, ain't that going on between us? We just friends. But he got your legs behind your head every night. And he telling his homeboys, I know that's just a little jump off. But he got your feet behind your head every night. And he coming to do it every night, but he can't accept the fact, like, damn, this might be the fucking one. Or vice versa. It can be the other way around. Just diving deeper. So I hope you guys enjoyed this particular episode. I decided to do something a little different for today. Still working on what season 3's background is going to be because I haven't figured it out. Right now, I think this is kind of okay, but not so much. But yeah, I think I was transparent enough to let you all know how I feel because I'm a really real person. And I feel like I've done so much in life. It's like, what the hell is next? What's next? Stay tuned and we'll find out together. Love you. Bye.
I was there when needed someone who wasn't getting over you.